You are listening to I'm Refocused podcast with your host, Shemaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now, let's tune into today's podcast.
Hey, this is I Am Refocused podcast. We are here once again on a Thursday morning here at Rockefeller's Barbershop. Shout out to Rico Rodriguez, one of our main supporters of this podcast show. Man, we have an awesome show lined up for you today. We are talking to Executive Director Kelli G. Rhodes, and she is part of Restore Education. If you want to find out more information about that, you can go to restoreeducation.com. But she is the Executive Director, and she took time out of her busy schedule to come here on I Am Refocused podcast. I want to welcome to your show and say how you doing.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So let's get right into it. When it comes to this organization, what attracted you to this organization? How did you find your way?
Well, I actually got involved through my dad. He was the one who founded Restore Education back in 2008. We started it as an outreach of a local church, wrote a grant to the TEA for dropout recovery, and we got the grant and started the program, and we've been doing it ever since.
And this is an awesome it's an awesome organization that is all about education, and you target at-risk kids.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we offer educational advancement opportunities to anybody age 16 and up to make them, help them, connect them to their future and kind of restore their potential. So help them get their GED. Maybe they've dropped out of high school. They weren't able to finish for whatever reason. Connect them to college programs, vocational training, and then also workforce training that we offer. So, yeah.
And tell us a little bit about your dad. And some of his work history that led into this organization forming together.
Yeah, he was actually, he was an engineer out of college, and then I think about 6 years later, he actually went into the ministry and became a pastor, and started a church. We moved here to San Antonio, and then founded a school over on the west side. And so my sister and I were voluntold out of college to help him, and became teachers, even though I majored in business, but we just loved it, and that just kind of became our passion as well, to help students, find and fulfill their dreams.
And before it launched, you mentioned was it church ministry at first?
The school was for about 10 years, but then Restore Education, just because of our grant funding, it's non-sectarian. So
when it comes to a student or someone who's older or whatever the situation may be, because everyone has a different story, how they use services, what's the first step? How does someone... Is there a process where they need to be screened? How does it work for someone to get your services?
Yeah, that's a great question. Basically, anybody qualifies. So we take applications every day that we are open all throughout the year. We're one of the few programs that actually does that. All they have to do is come into our office, start the application process, and they can, start on their educational journey.
And there's different programs. There's different programs that you all are doing. You help people prepare for college, which is a big one.
Yeah, definitely.
How does someone get started with that?
Yeah, so we offer, that's a great question. We offer free preparation for the TSI exam. It's the college placement exam for the Alamo colleges, any college in Texas actually. And our goal is to basically make sure that students are ready so that they don't have to take any remedial courses. It saves them time, saves them money, helps their GPA, and gets them on track to graduation. And also during that preparation, we make sure that they complete their financial aid forms, their college applications. We actually help students register for classes, take them on campus to handle any issues they might have. A lot of our students, they're first-generation college students, so they don't have anyone in their family that has that experience. So we're kind of that support system and those, college advisors to them. So.
And backing up someone who wants to get the high school out of the way, when it comes to everyone in that situation, how do they... Because, sometimes they might be embarrassed or whatever the situation might be. Because you talk about support system, that's very important. How do they stay how you help them stay motivated during the process, because I'm pretty sure there are challenges along the way.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It takes a lot of courage for the students to come back and say that they want to get their GED. But all the students that come to us, they're extremely motivated. We have kind of a team of instructors and navigators, we call them. They're kind of like counselors that support the students through the program. So if they need bus passes, we provide that, connections to other nonprofits that provide childcare, any sort of assistance that they need during that time, even finding a job so that they can fit school into their schedule. We try to work with them and give them as much flexibility as possible. So we're open late 4 nights a week. We're open every Saturday, just to give them that maximum opportunity to move forward in their life.
And when they start that process, are they in a classroom setting? How do they start officially? Like, where are they, and are there homework, obviously, but how does all that work?
Yeah, definitely. It's actually, we're pretty unique in that it's kind of an open learning center. Okay. So it's all one-on-one and individualized. So if they need, assistance from a tutor, they have someone there who can sit down next to them, walk them through whatever they're struggling with. If they're pretty self-motivated and they just want to get, ahead, they can sit on the computer, they can work at home, they can take homework. Basically, I tell students you can go as fast or as slow as you need to.
Set your own pace.
Yeah, so there's no pressure. You're not put in a classroom where you're learning what everyone else is. It's all catered to whatever the student's strengths or weaknesses are.
And at the end of the high school program, what happens? Is there a special event, or is there what happens at the end?
Definitely. We have a graduation every year. We're actually having our next graduation ceremony on June 22nd. Nice. So it's a fantastic event. It's our favorite day of the year, really, because the students just get to celebrate with their families. They didn't have that opportunity to do that. They've maybe been, felt like they were a failure, or labeled that by their family and friends. So here they get to invite them, walk across the stage, thank all of their, support system. So it's an awesome event.
And with this opportunity that you have, getting close to these students and their families, you're almost bonding completely with them with this whole process. Does any story come to mind of a success story of someone who went through the program and obviously their life will change forever?
Yeah, oh gosh, there's so many, really. I think of one young lady. She came to us. She was 25. Her name is Brenda. She had a daughter. She lost her mom due to a terminal illness, and she was her caretaker, so had to drop out at age 16. Ended up in an abusive relationship, so she wasn't really able to go back to school. Finally she found her way out of that at about age 25 and came to us, got her GED, quickly fell in love with college. We were able to put her in 2 college classes while she finished her GED. And she got 2 associate's degrees since then, enrolled and completed a bachelor's at Texas A&M. And now she's working on her master's degree to become a teacher. So it's really transformed her family, because she comes to us for advice about her daughter and what she should take in high school so that her daughter's ready for college. So it's really impacting that entire family.
And when you say that, I want to read the statement I saw on the website about your vision, the program's vision, the organization. Our vision is to restore the potential of at-risk individuals through the transformative power of education. And that by itself, for her to start from high school and 2 associate's degrees to work on her master's, because she has some bachelor's, that's awesome. Yeah. And that's not an easy road.
No.
And for someone to have that dedication and commitment on both sides, you in the organization providing that service for them every step of the way, like, hey, we have your back. What is the most motivating thing for you when you wake up and you go to work for this organization? What's the most thing that just keeps you going, keeps you inspired?
I think it's just seeing those individual lives transformed. They get their GED and they're so happy they come back and they tell us and they're ready for that next step. And college or whatever is next for them is now a possibility where it wasn't before. So just seeing the hope kind of restored in their life that they have a future is really impactful.
And when it comes to people listening right now, what's the first step obviously, the first step, you want to go to the website restoreeducation.com. But what's the first step for them to get the process started? Who do they need to talk to? How do they get their feet going?
Yeah, all they have to do is call our office. They could go to our website. We have a form that they can fill out, with whatever they're interested in doing, and then come in and see us anytime that we're open. They don't need to make an appointment. They can just walk in and get started.
And one might ask, how many people you have working? Is it like a lot of people, or is it a small team in the organization?
Yeah, we've actually grown a lot over the past 10 years. We started out with just 3 employees, me and my dad and my sister, but now we have about 15 employees. Yeah, so we've grown a lot.
So San Antonio, we are talking to Executive Director Ms. Kelli G. Rhodes. She is a part of the amazing organization Restore Education. And before we wrap up the first half of the show, let's talk about work, because you mentioned work, and work is very important. It gives you something to do every day. It gives you self-worth, so to speak. What's the process of people who are looking for jobs and they need that more education? How do you guys help bridge that gap too when it comes to the workforce?
Yeah, definitely. I think we all know that it takes a lot more than just a high school diploma or a GED to find a job that pays wages that can support a family. Yeah. And so recently, in the past few years, we've added some workforce training programs. Basically, what that means is students can take a program like administrative assistant or to become a CNA or phlebotomist to where they can finish within 6 weeks to 3 months, and they can have a state recognized or nationally certified license where they can get a job at a higher wage. So it's kind of that first step in that career ladder for them. Maybe they want to become a nurse. So this allows them to provide for their family and then continue their education. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Are there specific industries that you all focus on, or is it pretty much you tell us what your hopes and dreams are, and we'll kind of help you navigate? How does that work too?
That's a great question. I mean, obviously, our goal is really the student's goal. So we offer certain programs. A lot of them are, healthcare focused or business, but we also do prepare them for college. The Alamo colleges offer a lot of training programs for a variety of industries. So we'll kind of prepare and connect them to whatever they're interested in doing.
And that's awesome. Well, this is the first half of the show. This is I'm Refocused Podcast. We are talking to this amazing organization, Restore Education, and the Executive Director, Ms. Kelli G. Rhodes. Don't touch the iPhone, smart device. We are here at Rockefeller's Barbershop. Shout out to Rico Rodriguez. We'll be right back.
To Rockefeller's Barbershop. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will be blessed and be glad in Him. Today I want to introduce myself. My name is Rico Rodriguez at Rockefeller's Barbershop here in San Antonio, Texas, 1733 Babcock Road. My phone number is 210-782-5188. And again, we do walk-ins on Sundays. You are listening to I Am Refocused Podcast on iHeartradio. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Welcome back. This is I Am Refocused Podcast. We are here still at Rockefeller's Barbershop. Shout out to Rico Rodriguez, one of our supporters on this podcast show. We are still talking to Executive Director, Ms. Kelli G. Rhodes. She is representing Restore Education. And if you're back, thank you. We are going to continue this conversation about graduation. So after a student is done with graduation and they're ready to go out into the workforce, what's some of the ways you help prepare them to get to the right sources for a career path? So if it's medical, for it's hospitality, what's some of the ways you guys help navigate them to have that nice first step forward?
Yeah. So one of our staff members will sit with the student and kind of go over what their goals are. We have 2 main pathways that students can choose, one being several workforce training programs that we offer. The other one would be college prep. So if they want to go to one of the Alamo colleges or one of the local universities, we can walk them through that process.
And when they start the whole process of job hunting, you also give them access, special access to where people in that field can actually come over and provide hands-on training. How does that work with the students? And if you having any stories of someone having a great experience, what's some of the benefits of having that hands-on training?
Yeah, great question. So we offer 6 workforce training programs. 2 of them are in the medical field. We've got an on-site CNA program that's actually starting this July. We offer phlebotomy training, and then administrative assistant, where students can learn and get prepared to work in an office, maybe go into the business field. We have 2 certifications in the hospitality industry, and then we offer training for individuals that are interested in entrepreneurship, starting their own business.
Nice.
Yeah. And so all students have to do is come in. We pay for the full tuition for the programs. Most of them are held on our site. Some of them students could even take while they get their GED, which is pretty rare for a lot of these programs. And then while they're there, we make sure that they're connected to experts in the field who can also come in and help them prepare for job interviews, look at their resume, and get that ready so that they're ready to go out there and find those high-paying jobs when they're finished.
So this is really hitting everybody, because at-risk students, someone on the outside looking in might say, oh, wait, hold on, is it behavior? Or really at risk, would you say it's more of a, if you don't take the opportunity now to get your education, well, that's the risky part. So basically, you know, this is a military city. Do you see a lot of veterans coming through the program sometimes to further their education with the college?
Yes, yeah, definitely. We see quite a few of them.
When it comes to San Antonio, it's a growing city. And we talked a little bit about before the first half of the show about the tech world. We all know about geekdom downtown. How many people have you seen come through be interested in the tech world?
We've had quite a few. We're actually working with UTSA here in the fall to start our first IT training.
Nice.
So that students will be able to kind of get that first taste of what they could do in that field, and then hopefully continue their education at UTSA, which is a leader now in cybersecurity in San Antonio. So
someone listening right now, and they want to know how they can donate. First, I have part of that question answered already. You can go to restoreeducation.com. But what are you all looking for as far as support from the community of San Antonio?
It's a great question. We do rely on some volunteer tutors, so we have several community members that come in during the day and the evening hours, even on the weekends, to work one-on-one with our students. No experience is really required. We provide all the training, and they can set a flexible schedule. But just having that person sit next to the student and encourage them personally helps us make sure that we increase those interactions, and our students are more successful because of that. We are also one of the only GED providers that actually pays for a student's entire test. Sometimes it can cost up to $200 to take the entire GED. So having that financial support there so that students don't have to choose between paying this bill or going to work and covering these expenses really makes a huge impact in their life.
So City of San Antonio, if you don't have the money right now, but you have the brains, there's no excuses. You can volunteer your time and help tutor someone and help them make their dreams come true like you have. All right, when it comes to the process of getting inside the workforce, are students coming back and giving feedback once they have launched their early stages in their new career path?
Oh, definitely. We had a young lady come to us. She left school to work for her family and take care of her younger siblings. She ended up working in retail for 20 years. She came to us last fall, took our phlebotomy class after she got her GED. She was able to get her first job at $22 an hour. So it was practically double what she was making at her other job. So, I mean, her whole life has just changed, and now she's able to provide for her children. They're excited about going to college, and she even wants to kind of continue her education and be a nurse. So it's just kind of that first step for these students.
And I kind of want to go back to what we were talking about first half of the show, transforming lives through education. Because the word transform, it means something has to change. That means before they even get to their dream career, they have to make that first choice, and that is to further their education. That means calling you all and taking that first step. What words of wisdom will you give to someone listening right now who might be on the fence of, I don't know if I want to further my education, but I kind of know I need to? What would you say to push them on that edge to say, hey, you need to go to restoreeducation.com and set an appointment right now before the show's over? Now, if you're driving, just wait till the show's over, but don't forget restoreeducation.com. What words of wisdom would you give to that person on the fence?
Yeah, that's a great question. Just do it. I mean, really, there's no time like the present. And actually, the sooner they do it, the quicker they'll be on that path towards their future. So
basically, you want to break the cycle.
Yeah.
Make a decision today.
Do it.
You talk about your dad. He's pretty much the one that is really blazing the path for everyone to take through this organization. What are some of the things that he taught you and your family growing up?
Oh, wow. I think one of our, and this ties along with the question that you just asked, but one of our core values is personal transformation is the key to success. And so really evaluating what you did before that didn't work, and then how you can make those changes in order to reach your goals. Something he would always say, choices, decisions, and consequences, And so we try to do that with our students and walk them through that process of maybe what they struggled with in their prior educational experiences, and then how they can change, their daily behaviors, in order to reach their goals. So
that's how they get their education restored.
Yep.
And when people are seeing this organization growing, because obviously it's grown since the day one of the launch of this organization, what are some of the goals do you believe you all as a team have while you're in the city of San Antonio? What's some of the things you would like to see in the near future?
That's a good question. I think his vision was really always to see restore education kind of all across the county, even the state, and maybe the nation. I mean, that was just, where we, had thought about going, before he passed. And so I think it's something that we definitely want to kind of carry on and just make a greater impact in Bexar County. We know the workforce is underskilled and that we're not drawing, quality employers. And we know a lot of people are struggling with poverty and just getting by day to day. And so education is a huge determinant of, someone's future and their potential. So we want to be a part of that solution.
Sometimes finances can get in the way and someone wanting to make the decision. So once again, there's no excuse if you are in that situation where you want to further your education, but you're thinking about finances and all this crazy stuff. Just go restoreeducation.com. That's the solution. If you're in San Antonio, there's nothing else you need to do. Go restoreeducation.com. And I know if you know someone that needs this information, share this podcast with them, because as I said before, Executive Director Kelli Rhodes took time out of her busy schedule just to give y'all this information. So, on that note, we talked about making donations, and we talked about tutors, volunteering. If someone wants to tutor again, what's the process and them setting up that opportunity?
Yeah, they can call our office. We've got a volunteer coordinator that can work with them, give them kind of an orientation and a training, and then get them set up to come in. So it's as simple as that.
And as far as donations, are there other ways businesses can help assist and collaborate with your organization?
Yeah, definitely. We're always, looking for partners and ways to increase our impact. They can actually sponsor a workforce training, or we've worked with employers in the past where we've actually gone and held classes on site and trained their employees. That's a great way, to upskill their workforce. So all they have to do is contact us. Well,
there you go. If you're a business owner and you can add value to the city of San Antonio, well, once again, you're never going to forget this website, because it's easy. All you have to go is restoreeducation.com. Repeat after me, restoreeducation.com. So if you want to help someone's life turn around for the better, that's what it's all about. City of San Antonio is a melting pot, but we all have to get smart. That's my line. You all have to get smart. So on that note, I don't want to take too much time out of your busy schedule anymore, because I know you're busy. You're probably catching flights because you just came from Toronto. You're living in large because you're busy changing lives and transforming lives. So with that, I'm going to let you have the floor. Is there anything you would like to say to the audience before we wrap up?
Love to be able to help and support them on their pathway. So just give us a call.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I probably broke the record how many times I put someone's website out, but this is very important, just in case you still missed it. Let me read the vision for them one more time. Our vision is to restore the potential of at-risk individuals through the transformative power of education. So if you really want to change someone's life, if you know someone who really needs help to get their life back on the right path, to have a better life through education, go to restorededucation.com, make a donation or volunteer to tutor and help someone with that transformation process. And with that, I would like to thank Miss Kelli G. Rhodes, Executive Director at Restore Education, nonprofit organization here in San Antonio. And if you haven't understand by now, this show, Hiring Refocused Podcast, is all about community because we all are here for a purpose. And until you find your purpose, what you're doing. And on that note, like we always say on every episode, keep God first, stay focused, and peace.